My question is for the Leader of the Government in the Senate. Senator Harder, yesterday former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould gave explosive and devastating testimony about potential corruption infecting the highest echelons of this Trudeau government, including the Prime Minister, the PMO, and the Clerk of the Privy Council. You were the head of Trudeau government's transition team for that new government. In that role, you not only established the framework for relations between the PMO and PCO, but you played a key role in installing Michael Wernick as the Clerk of the Privy Council. Similar to you, Senator Harder, Mr. Wernick had a long career in the public service before his appointment. As Privy Council Clerk, Wernick was to be non-partisan. He should have put a stop to any threatened interference with a major criminal prosecution. Instead, he did the PMO's bidding and allegedly threatened Wilson-Raybould in an effort to interfere with prosecutorial independence. His implication was clear: find a way to overturn the DPP's decision or lose your job. The Clerk of the Privy Council office is supposed to be the preeminent non-partisan civil servant in Canada. He is expected to behave with the highest ethical standards and uphold the rule of law. Michael Wernick has failed on all counts. When will the Trudeau government demand his resignation?
Senator Harder.
In response to the question, let me simply say a couple of things. First of all, the question is factually in error. Mr. Wernick was appointed Clerk of the Privy Council well into the first year of the government's mandate and long after transition had been completed. But that's not really the important point to make in this. The important point to make is that Michael Wernick is a public servant of great distinction who has served Canada for 37 years, who knows the bounds of appropriate interaction, tells truth to power, whether that power is the media or whether that power is parliamentarians. He spoke candidly and with force, and I'm proud to know him as a friend and believe he is not only a good public servant, but he serves the best interests of Canadians. The third point I would make is that the tone of the question is one that suggests that this chamber is actually not as sober in its reflection as the committee yesterday, frankly, was in their questioning.
Senator Batters, there's 1 minute left for question period.
Senator Harder, Prime Minister Trudeau is trying to minimize this crisis of corruption in his government as an internal disagreement. It's pretty clear from her damning testimony yesterday that the former Attorney General experienced things differently. In her capacity as the AG, she made a firm decision not to overrule the DPP. Yet for the next 4 months, she had to fend off repeated unwanted pressure from powerful men, including the Prime Minister of Canada, his closest advisor and best friend, and the Clerk of the Privy Council. They all tried to wear her down and change her mind. The feminist facade of this government is crackling like ice. Why won't the men in the highest echelons of this fake feminist Trudeau government accept no for an answer from a woman?
Senator Harder.
Let me simply compliment the honourable senator on watching a movie. I appreciate that, and let me simply say that the question is great rhetoric, but is irrelevant to the circumstances we're dealing with.